Welcome back to my channel. Today we will learn about the issue that has everyone talking on ABC's General Hospital. In a series of dramatic twists that seem almost too unbelievable to be true, several storylines have converged to change the course of events in Port Charles. This latest arc, filled with hope, heartbreak, and unexpected reunions, begins with the aftermath of a devastating explosion and leads all the way to long-lost memories, family secrets, and romantic dilemmas that may change everything we thought we knew about these characters. A few months ago, Michael was caught in a catastrophic explosion at Sonny's house. The blast left him with severe, life-threatening burns that not only threatened his life but also shattered the lives of everyone who cared about him. As investigators in Port Charles worked feverishly to uncover the identity of the unknown assailant responsible for the explosion, Sonny remained haunted by the unanswered question of who could have orchestrated such a heinous act. With no clear lead and mounting pressure from both friends and family, the investigation seemed to stall. In the meantime, Michael's condition worsened locally, and the doctors concluded that his chances of survival and full recovery would dramatically increase if he could receive treatment at a world-class facility abroad. After many discussions and desperate consultations, it was decided that Michael would be transported to Germany. There, at a state-of-the-art clinic known for its advanced burn treatments, he would have the best possible chance to mend his shattered body. Despite the harrowing memories of the explosion, Michael clung to hope as he was rushed to Germany, his future uncertain but his determination unyielding. The clinic's reputation had been vouched for by respected members of the medical community in Port Charles, and many believed that this was the miracle Michael needed. During his intensive treatment in Germany, a most unexpected twist occurred. In the midst of his recovery, Michael encountered a man who, by all accounts, should have been dead. This man was Spencer, a figure believed to have perished months earlier when he was lost at sea off the coast of France. Spencer, however, was very much alive. He had been presumed dead due to the tragic circumstances surrounding his disappearance, but fate had other plans. The man Michael met was in a state of complete disorientation, suffering from amnesia that robbed him of any memory of who he was or where he came from. His past was a blank slate, and he wandered the corridors of the clinic with a look of profound loss and confusion. Michael, already grappling with his own painful recovery, was deeply moved by Spencer's plight. Despite the agony of his injuries and the lingering uncertainty about his future, Michael made a solemn promise to Spencer. He vowed that once his burns healed and his strength returned, he would help Spencer find his way back home. In his heart, Michael believed that every person deserved a second chance, especially someone like Spencer, who had been erased from the lives of his loved ones without so much as a farewell. Michael's compassion shone through as he took Spencer under his wing, gently explaining that he, too, had known what it was like to be on the edge of death and that together, they would reclaim the life that had been stolen from them. Over the course of several months in Germany, Michael's condition improved remarkably. Against all odds, the advanced treatment at the German clinic not only saved him but also healed his burns without leaving permanent scars. His recovery was nothing short of miraculous, and every progress report from the clinic filled him with renewed hope. It was during this period of gradual healing that Michael continued to nurture his promise to Spencer. Every day, as he regained his strength, he would speak with Spencer about the future, about returning to Port Charles, reuniting with family, and slowly, piece by piece, helping him recover the memories that had been lost. Michael's determination was unwavering, and his bond with Spencer grew stronger with each passing day. Finally, the day arrived when Michael was deemed stable enough to leave the clinic. With a heart full of hope and gratitude, he made arrangements to bring Spencer back to Port Charles as promised. The journey back home was filled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Michael, now looking like a man reborn, prepared to re-enter a world that had been waiting for him with bated breath. Spencer, though still haunted by his amnesia, clung to the kindness and determination in Michael's eyes, trusting that his savior would help him navigate the uncertain path ahead. The arrival of Michael and Spencer in Port Charles sent shockwaves through the community. For many, Michael's recovery was a symbol of resilience and the triumph of modern medicine. His miraculous healing was celebrated by friends, family, and even strangers who had followed his ordeal with heartfelt concern. Among those most affected was Laura, whose joy knew no bounds upon learning that her grandson, believed to be lost forever, was still alive. The news that Spencer, whose fate had been sealed by a tragic accident at sea, was making his way back to Port Charles filled her with unbridled elation. Tears streamed down her face as she embraced the hope that the family she thought was broken might finally be whole again. Laura's heart swelled with happiness at the thought of reuniting with her grandson, and she quickly became a pillar of support for both Michael and Spencer, determined to help them integrate back into the community and restore the bonds of family. Yet, as joy and hope spread through Port Charles at Michael and Spencer's return, another storyline was unfolding that would complicate matters further. Prior to his presumed death, Spencer had been involved in a tumultuous romance with a woman named Trina. Trina, who had once been deeply in love with Spencer, had spent the months following his disappearance submerged in sorrow. Believing that Spencer was gone forever, Trina had struggled to move on from the profound loss. In the quiet solitude of her grief, she had found solace in the comforting presence of Kai, a man who offered her stability and kindness in a time of overwhelming pain. Slowly, a new relationship began to blossom between Trina and Kai, one that offered a tentative promise of healing and new beginnings. However, the unexpected return of Spencer sent ripples through Trina's carefully constructed emotional world. His reappearance was like a bolt of lightning, electrifying long-forgotten memories and reigniting a passion she had thought was forever extinguished. The shock of seeing Spencer alive, even though he was suffering from amnesia, stirred a tumult of conflicting emotions within her. On one hand, Trina felt an overwhelming desire to embrace the man she had once loved, to rekindle the connection that had defined so much of her past. On the other hand, she had begun to form a genuine bond with Kai, a relationship that had helped her navigate the depths of her grief and offered her a safe harbor in a storm of emotions. As the days passed, Trina found herself caught between the familiar and the unknown. Her heart was torn in two directions, the magnetic pull of a long-lost love and the steady promise of a new future with Kai. Friends and confidants in Port Charles whispered about the inevitable collision between these two worlds, speculating that the reappearance of Spencer might lead to the dissolution of Trina's budding relationship with Kai. The possibility that Trina might end things with Kai and reunite with Spencer was both exciting and fraught with uncertainty. After all, the emotional scars from Spencer's disappearance had not healed completely, and the prospect of reigniting an old flame carried with it the risk of reopening old wounds. Despite the turmoil swirling around her, Trina remained determined to help Spencer regain his lost memories. Along with Michael and several other compassionate friends, she organized sessions designed to gently coax fragments of the past back into his consciousness. Therapy sessions, family gatherings, and casual outings were all orchestrated in the hope that, one day, Spencer's true self would emerge from the fog of amnesia. Every small breakthrough, every familiar word, every flicker of recognition in Spencer's eyes, was celebrated as a victory. For Trina, these moments of clarity were bittersweet reminders of the love she once shared with Spencer, and they only deepened the internal conflict she felt between her past with him and her present with Kai. Meanwhile, Kai found himself in a precarious position. His growing relationship with Trina, which had been built on mutual support and the shared experience of overcoming loss, was now under threat. Kai, who had provided Trina with stability and comfort in the aftermath of Spencer's disappearance, began to feel the sting of uncertainty as Spencer's reappearance loomed large. Although Kai's feelings for Trina were genuine, he could not help but worry that the unresolved history between Trina and Spencer would eventually pull her away. The mere possibility that Trina might reconsider her commitment to him left Kai with a sense of foreboding. As whispers circulated around Port Charles about the potential for Trina to reunite with Spencer, Kai's mind raced with questions about what the future might hold for him. Would he be left alone, or would he find new love to fill the void left by a past that refused to fade away? As Michael prepared for his long-awaited return to Port Charles, the excitement of reuniting with family and friends mingled with the weight of the past. Michael's promise to bring Spencer home was not just about fulfilling a commitment, it was a symbol of hope that even the most devastating tragedies could be overcome with compassion and determination. His recovery in Germany had been nothing short of miraculous, and his resolve to help Spencer reclaim his identity was met with overwhelming support from the community. The people of Port Charles, who had long endured the pain of loss and uncertainty, welcomed Michael's return as a sign that life could move forward despite the scars of the past. The arrival of Michael and Spencer on Port Charles created an atmosphere of both celebration and trepidation. News of Spencer's return spread like wildfire, and soon the community was abuzz with questions and emotions. Family members, friends, and even casual acquaintances could hardly believe that the man they had mourned as dead was now standing before them, though in a state of profound confusion due to his amnesia. For Laura, the joyous reunion was almost overwhelming. Her heart soared at the thought of embracing her grandson once again, a miracle that defied all the odds. Every embrace, every tear of joy, and every whispered word of welcome served as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the unbreakable bonds of family. Yet, amid the jubilation, there remained a lingering uncertainty about Spencer's future. Without his memories, Spencer was like a blank canvas upon which the people of Port Charles hoped to paint a new beginning. Michael took it upon himself to gently guide Spencer through the process of rediscovery, patiently working with him to reconstruct the fragments of a life that had been shattered by amnesia. With every passing day, the community rallied behind them, organizing group therapy sessions, inviting Spencer to family dinners, and encouraging him to participate in community events. The collective hope was that, in time, Spencer would regain his lost memories and rediscover the person he once was, allowing him to reclaim the relationships that had been so abruptly severed. At the same time, the reappearance of Spencer set in motion a cascade of consequences for Trina. Once resigned to a future without the man she had loved, Trina now found herself at a crossroads. The revival of memories of Spencer's past, snippets of laughter, shared secrets, and moments of intimacy that had defined their relationship, began to resurface as he struggled to remember who he was. Trina's heart was caught in a turbulent tide of emotions, torn between the familiar comfort of a long-lost love and the budding connection with Kai that had helped her mend her shattered heart. Every time Spencer's eyes flickered with a hint of recognition, Trina felt both joy and sorrow, a bittersweet reminder of what once was and what might be again. The possibility of reuniting with Spencer was intoxicating, yet it threatened to unravel the new life she had started to build with Kai, who, despite his own steady affection, now sensed that his relationship with Trina was on uncertain ground. Kai, aware of the shifting emotional landscape, struggled with the prospect of losing Trina. In quiet moments of reflection, he questioned whether he could ever compete with the ghost of a past love or whether Trina's heart would inevitably return to Spencer. His feelings for Trina were deep and genuine, built on shared vulnerability and mutual healing, yet the specter of Spencer's reappearance cast a long shadow over their future together. Kai's internal battle was palpable, and as news of Spencer's ongoing journey to regain his memory spread, he felt the weight of uncertainty pressing down on him. The community watched, empathetic yet divided, as the love triangle began to take shape, a triangle where past and present collided in a whirlwind of emotions that threatened to upend the delicate balance of relationships in Port Charles. For Michael, the decision to return to Port Charles with Spencer was both a personal triumph and a heavy burden. His miraculous recovery, the promise he had kept, and the hope he instilled in those around him stood as a beacon of resilience. Yet, he was acutely aware that his own journey of healing was now inextricably linked to the fate of Spencer. Michael's determination to help Spencer regain his memories was driven by a deep-seated belief in the power of second chances. He believed that by restoring Spencer's identity, he could mend the fractures that had once divided families and bring a sense of completeness back to those who had long suffered the pain of loss. Every interaction, every small breakthrough in Spencer's recollections, was celebrated as a victory for the community, a sign that even the deepest scars could heal. As the days turned into weeks and the community adjusted to this new reality, the overarching sentiment in Port Charles was one of cautious optimism. While Michael's recovery and Spencer's unexpected return were causes for celebration, they also carried the weight of uncertainty about the future. The reawakening of Spencer's past threatened to shake the foundations of relationships that had already been tested by tragedy. Family secrets, old wounds, and new romances all intertwined in a complex tapestry of emotions, leaving everyone to wonder how these threads would ultimately weave together. In the coming months, efforts to help Spencer recover his memories are expected to intensify. Therapists, family members, and friends will work tirelessly, employing every available method to unlock the secrets of his past. Group sessions will be organized, intimate one-on-one conversations will be held, and every cherished photograph or memento may be used as a key to open the locked doors of his memory. The hope is that each small fragment that returns will piece together the puzzle of who Spencer truly is, allowing him to reintegrate into a life that, until recently, had believed him to be lost forever. At the same time, the romantic entanglements that have long defined Port Charles will face new challenges. Trina's heart, caught in the crossfire of past love and new beginnings, will have to make choices that may redefine her future. Her connection with Kai, though tender and promising, now hangs in the balance as the possibility of rekindling her romance with Spencer becomes more tangible with each passing day. Will Trina ultimately choose the familiarity and shared history with Spencer, or will the steady, reassuring presence of Kai win out in the end? This question, along with many others, will continue to be the subject of heated discussions among fans and residents alike, as everyone watches closely to see how the intricate web of love, loss, and rediscovery unfolds in the coming episodes. For now, Michael's promise and actions have united a community that has long suffered from tragedy. His selflessness in aiding Spencer's return, his miraculous recovery from near-fatal burns, and the hope he embodies serve as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, the bonds of family and friendship can prevail. As Port Charles opens its arms once again to welcome Spencer, the story of renewal and resilience takes center stage. It is a narrative filled with the promise of new beginnings, a chance to mend what was broken, to heal old wounds, and to reclaim the lost parts of one's identity. In summary, the recent developments on ABC's General Hospital have taken us on an emotional roller coaster. Michael's near-fatal injuries from the explosion at Sonny's house led to his transfer to Germany, where advanced treatment saved his life and erased the scars of his ordeal. During his recovery, Michael encountered Spencer, a man long believed to have perished at sea, now suffering from amnesia and without any recollection of his past. Driven by compassion and a promise made in the midst of his own suffering, Michael vowed to help Spencer return home to Port Charles. As Michael's health improved, he kept his promise and arranged for Spencer to be brought back to the community, where his reappearance stunned everyone. Laura was overjoyed to learn that her grandson was alive, while others grappled with the shock of witnessing a miracle that defied the finality of death. At the same time, the return of Spencer threw a wrench into the lives of those who had come to terms with his loss. Trina, who had mourned Spencer deeply and had begun to form a new connection with Kai during the long months of her grief, now found herself caught between the past and the present. The possibility of reuniting with Spencer stirred memories of lost love and raised questions about her future with Kai. As the community rallied to help Spencer regain his memories, the emotional stakes grew higher, and the intricate balance of relationships in Port Charles was pushed to the brink. As we stand on the precipice of these unfolding events, it is clear that the story of Michael, Spencer, Trina, and Kai will continue to evolve in ways that challenge our understanding of love, memory, and destiny. Michael's recovery and his unwavering promise to help a lost soul reclaim his identity serve as a testament to the enduring power of compassion, even in the face of life's most devastating trials. Meanwhile, the reappearance of Spencer and the rekindling of old flames force characters like Trina and Kai to confront the complexities of their own hearts. The journey to help Spencer remember who he truly is promises to be as turbulent as it is hopeful, and every small victory along the way will be a beacon of light in a town that has seen its share of darkness. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this epic, intertwining saga on ABC's General Hospital. The drama, the hope, and the bittersweet reunions that define Port Charles remind us that even in the midst of tragedy, life finds a way to renew itself. Stay tuned for more updates as these stories continue to unfold, and remember, every heartache carries the potential for a new beginning, and every lost memory holds the promise of rediscovery.